This Valentine's Day, create your own love story. Hi, welcome coming in. My name is Aoife and today I am announcing the next round of RomComAthon. This is the contemporary romance themed readathon that I host with Michelle from Michelle's Library and Brianna from Four Paws in a Book, and we are bringing it back for the most love-filled week of the year, Valentine's Week. We would love to have you join us again for reading along with some romance books, with some contemporary romance books, with some steamy or some clean romance books. This round is going to run from Monday the 13th of February all the way through to Sunday the 19th of February. And like we had at Christmas, we're going to play a little game with the time zones again this time. So it's going to start at 12 midnight here in Berlin on the 13th of February. That for you could already still have been the 12th of February, could already for you be the 14th of February, but be sure to join us in anyway as soon as the clock strikes midnight here in Berlin. And it is going to end at 12 midnight Mountain Time, which is where Brianna lives. So for you, that could already be the 20th of February. It could be still the 18th of February. But we would still love you to take part in as much of the readathon as you can. Of course, this round is all going to be featuring love. It's all going to be featuring all of the kind of cozy and warm feelings that Valentine's Week can bring for you. But we do know, of course, that there are some people out there who aren't in relationships, who are going through a difficult relationship at the moment. So we've tried to make the prompts a little bit more taking care of yourself, as well as celebrating everything that love brings into your life. So we have themed all of the prompts, both the self-care and the reading prompts, around some of our favorite rom-com movies. Because if there is one time of year where watching a rom-com every single day is appropriate, it's definitely Valentine's Week. Again, for this round, we have got a group book that if you have the capacity to join in with us, we would love to see you read it along with us, to discuss it with us. All three of us have made plans to read it, so you will definitely find one of us who's going to have somewhat similar opinions to you, or maybe a different opinion that you can try and coax us along to your side with. For this round, our group read is Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Brucke. If you recognize those names, it's because they are the authors of The Roughest Draft. They are a married couple. And this book is coming out right at the end of January. So if, like I said, you have got the capacity to read it, maybe you can find it on Audible, or maybe you can find it on Scribd, or it's in a Kindle deal, or your library just magically has one, we'd love to see you join along with us. The book is a second chance romance about a couple who are married, but it is starting to feel like they are just roommates who live together and share the same bed. So to try and save their marriage and bring the spark back, they go on a little break off to Northern California. And of course, when they are put together and they are in forced proximity, things start to kind of iron themselves out. If you have joined us for our group read and you'd like to join and chat with us, if you'd like to hear our thoughts about it or maybe share your thoughts about it, we're going to be hosting a live show discussing it on Saturday the 18th of February. It will be held at 10 o'clock in the morning in Mountain Time, 12 o'clock in the afternoon in Eastern Standard Time, and 6 o'clock in the evening here in German time. So whatever time zone that works out for you, if you are awake and available and you joined us, we'd love to see you there. On to the most important part. The prompts. As I've said, we've made the reading prompts and the self-care prompts all based around some of our favorite rom-com movies, because we thought if this is RomComAthon, why not stretch it out a little bit more to include some of our favorite movies. So first I'm going to go through all the self-care prompts, and the first one is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Here we would love you to bake, share, eat, enjoy one of your favorite baked goods. If it's a cinnamon roll, if it's a brownie, if it's a blondie, if it's an entire cake, does not matter. If it's one of your favorite baked goods, get on board, because we thought Lara Jean loves to bake so much. There was kind of nothing else we could have done with this prompt. Next one is 27 Dresses. For this one, we would absolutely love to see you sharing a picture of you wearing an outfit that matches the cover of one of your books. It could be one of the books that you're going to read for the write-a-thon. It could be the group book. It could be literally any book that's on your shelf. But we desperately want to see how creative and how funky you can be with your outfits to match it to the cover of your book. Next up is Clueless, where we would love to have you watch a romance retelling and share which one you're watching with us. And there are literally so many of them. Clueless itself is a romance retelling. It is an adaptation of Emma by Jane Austen. All of the Pride and Prejudices count from the same author, but also Bridget Jones's Diary is a slight modernization of Pride and Prejudice. There's 10 Things I Hate About You, which is a modernization of The Taming of the Shrew. There is She's All That, which is a modernization of Pygmalion. There is She's the Man, which is a modernization of The 12th Night. There are so many of them out there at your disposal that I am more than certain you're going to find one. Next up is Hitch, and we would like you to matchmake, but with yourself. We'd like you to take yourself out on a date. Whether you go out for dinner, whether you go out for drinks, whether you go out to the movies, whether you just go for a walk in the park. Take yourself out for the day. Take yourself out for an evening. Take yourself out for the morning. Go and sit in a coffee shop. Bring your book with you. Enjoy the ride. Whatever you do, we want you to put yourself first above anybody else and just take some time to spend with your favorite person. Yourself. Next up is She's All That, and for this one we'd love to see you give yourself a little bit of a makeover. And it doesn't have to be anything super big. You don't have to go out and get an entire new haircut or a whole new wardrobe or anything like that. It can be something so simple as just changing up what color lipstick you're gonna wear, or getting your nails done, putting on some new nail polish, getting a manicure. Whatever you understand of this prompt, whatever is in your budget or your time scale, go for it. Next up is Isn't It Romantic? And for this one, we would love you to watch any rom-com at all. It doesn't have to be a retelling here. It can be literally anything. It could be your very favorite rom-com. It could be the first rom-com you've ever watched that really introduced you to the genre. It could be one that you've never seen before but have heard so much hype about. And I think that that's what I'm going to do because I've never actually seen She's All That. And I know so many people who have loved it. So I think I'm going to take this as my opportunity to finally check it off the list. Our final self-care prompt is 13 going on 30. And for this one, we would love you to have your own little dance party. It can be just in the kitchen. It can be in your bedroom. It could be out while you're dancing with your friends. It could be doing Zumba. It could be anything just as long as you are getting yourself moving, putting your favorite tunes on, and just having a great time. Those are all of the self-care prompts. Let's go on to the 7 reading prompts. Of course, you can double up, you can triple up. If you can get all 7 in one book, that is amazing. If you want to do 7 books in 7 days and go 1 book per prompt, that's also amazing. We would love to see you tick off as many of these as you can, so do not get worried. Any prompt that you tick off and you have taken part in the readathon. First up is Friends with Benefits, and here we'd love you to read a friends to lovers based romance. There are so many of them, and of course, if there's any that aren't coming to your mind at the moment, we are all going to have our TBRs ready and we're all going to have some suggestion videos up for you. So don't worry if there's nothing that's coming to your mind, we will have you sorted out. Next up is Sweet Home Alabama, where we would love you to read a second chance romance. Of course, our group read fits into this, so if you are going to join us, that is the easy tick off. But there's so many of them, and if second chance romance is one of your favorite tropes, I'm sure you will be spoiled for choice. Next up is Dirty Dancing, and here we'd love you to read an age gap romance. This one kind of enters into the people who are into a little bit more darker romance, but also there are a couple of contemporary romances with an age gap in them. So anything that kind of ticks that box and you have got this prompt ready. Next is 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and here we would like you to read a book that features a wedding. Any kind of wedding, whether it's just like a mention of it anywhere in the pages, whether it's the biggest part of the plot, whether they have just gotten engaged and you know there's going to be a wedding coming at some time. Any mention of a wedding, of a marriage, of a proposal, we're in. Next is Love Actually, and rather than reading a book with like 9,000 characters in it or 9,000 different perspectives, we just want you to read a dual POV. Anywhere where the 2 main characters have their thoughts put out onto the page, this is the one that you're going to take that off. Next is 10 Things I Hate About You, and we would love you to read a hate to love romance. It can also be an enemies to lovers romance. Anything where they start off not entirely in love with each other, but you just know that they are going to be mildly obsessed with each other by the end of this book. You've got that one ticked off. Finally, our last reading prompt is Crazy Rich Asians, where we would like you to read a book where the main character is a person of color. It does not necessarily have to be an Asian character. It could be Latina, it could be Black, it could be anybody that is a person of color, and we would love to see you tick that one off too. Those are all of the prompts, both the reading and the self-care prompts for this coming round of the RomComAthon, which is running from the 13th to the 19th of February. Of course, we're going to have some reading sprints on all 3 of our channels throughout the week. Those times haven't really been ironed out yet. So do keep an eye on Instagram at RomComAthon_, where we're going to have all of the information. And we're also going to have the 2 boards that you will need to tick off if you would like to just do the reading prompts or just do the self-care prompts, or you'd like to do both. You'll be able to download all the graphics that you need there. We would love to see you taking part in this readathon. We would love to see you getting on board with it, sharing all of your ideas, sharing your TBRs, sharing your progress. We'd love to see you take part with us. If you'd like to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything that you would like to say, then just leave me the sparkly heart emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.